Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we'll be talking about finances and we'll be focusing mainly on how to fund your tuition for the entire university tenure. I try to need you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it all. I got to live what I got. I don't know why you're the one. So everybody knows I went to nursing school. See my graduation picture up there, so, and I went to the school, but anyways, I left in 2020. I started in 2016, and to be honest, when I started nursing school, I didn't know how I was gonna fund the whole experience. And today I'm gonna share with you 5 tips on how to fund your tuition for 4 years or 3 years if you're going to the university for 3 years. I'm gonna tell y'all how I did it, right? So disclaimer, what happened for me might not happen for you, and what worked for me might not work for you. But just remember, these are great tips to use, and these are basically the things that I did in order to finish going to university, and I finished debt free. Like, I don't owe the institution that I went any money, and I got to graduate. So for the first tip, I would advise you to put God first. God before everything else, because when I started nursing school, as I said, when I got my congratulations letter, I did not know where the first dollar was coming from. And my mommy looked at me and she said, "Brit, God will provide." And I was moving blind in a sense. Like, I didn't know like what to expect or know if she was gonna actually have the money in order to fund my university tuition. And I listened to her, and in my first year, my school fee was paid off in full. As a matter of fact, for the 4 years, my school fee was paid off in full. So you need to put God first. You need to pray, and you need to make negotiations with God. Because when I got my congratulations letter, I said, "God, if a nursing me for really do, you are gonna pay my school fee in full. I'm not gonna feel nothing at all." To be honest, the only thing I failed in nursing school was English, and it was not even the course, the English course. It was like the ELPT test, and y'all know the ELPT test or whatever. That was the only thing I ever failed in life, and I know why I failed. I really needed help, and I got the help that I needed. But anyways, as I said, put God first in everything that you do, and you will see that He makes a way even when there seems to be no way. All right. So the next tip: always have a side hustle or a side job. All right. So having a side job and a side hustle is iffy for each and every discipline, because in nursing you don't get much time off and you don't get much free time on your hand. If you get free time, you basically have to use that free time studying or doing projects or doing something nursing related. You have to be studying. Even when we have holiday, we even get projects to bring home with us for us to do when we come back next semester. Like we don't really have much free time. But some of the other disciplines, I know that you get a lot of free time. You get like your summer holiday, you get your Easter holiday, you get your Christmas holiday. So those times you can actually use to work. Also, you get a lot of free time in the week. When I was doing nursing, I used to do 7 courses in one semester, and I used to have to go back to school in summer. So it was really, really hard to factor in a day or 2 to at least work. So what you can do, you need to budget out your time, and you need to know how you study and understand how you study before you do all of this. So I budgeted out my time wherein which no, I want to tell you, I budgeted out my time wherein which what is wrong with me? I budgeted out my time wherein which I said, okay, I don't work on weekends. When I'm doing clinicals, I don't usually work on weekends. So for Saturday and Sunday, I always do my part-time job. So I do go there and make a couple hours and then, just do my thing. The next thing is that with side jobs, it's iffy because not everywhere will give you a part-time position. Not everywhere will work with your schedule, but I found a job that actually worked with my schedule at the time. So it's good to have a job like that. The next thing is side hustles. So for side hustles, I basically opened a business when I was in my 3rd year. Being that my mom lost her job at that time, I used to sell lashes. One time my father find plum pants for one tree. Not find plum. Him pick plum off for one tree. One big tree what did in my mother's yard at the time. And I brought it to school. I peeled the plums, put salt on them. Who never want a salt and just want the plum, them get the plum only. And I sell that plum, girl. I sell that plum. I sell each and every one of that plum at school. You have to have a creative mind. You have to know what sells and what is exactly marketable. Because I know that back then a lot of girls used to love wearing strip lashes, and I used to sell jewelry as well. I used to sell swimsuits, etc. You have to know what's in and what's popping, so you can at least earn a profit when you actually go ahead and spend your money. And I used to sell off all my lashes, like every single one of them usually sell. And you have to know how to market. You have to know how to go around and say, I'm selling lashes, etc., etc. Are you interested? You have to know how to be a people person in order to have a business. So it's not for everyone, and as I said before, everything will work for me is not going to work for you. So you just have to try and see what is best. And if you are having your side hustle, just ensure that you still keep on top of your academics, and later on in the video you're going to understand why. Even though you're working, you still need to have a good time budget. You need to know when you're going to study from when you're going to just work. And sometimes I used to even go to work, come home and study, and it used to be like nothing to me when I got used to it. So you need to know how to adjust yourself. You need to be very, very flexible. So that is something to keep in mind. So the next tip is that you can invest in work and travel. I hear a lot of TikTok girlies talking about work and travel, and a lot of TikTok guys talking about work and travel. I never got the opportunity to do work and travel because I just didn't get the opportunity. Everybody was talking about it in first year because, of course, for first year, the nursing students get the opportunity to get summer break in the first year, but for the remaining 3 years, you would have to do clinicals in summer. So I had the privilege in first year, but I passed it up because I was going to visit my mom anyways. And in the following years, I basically just invested in my business and sold stuff. So if you have access to it, which I know that most other disciplines you will get time off in order to do work and travel, do work and travel, because you're gonna make USD, and most of our school fees are quoted in USD, and you can just easily pay it and you'll be fine. Like, I know people that actually use work and travel to pay their tuition for the whole tenure that they go to school, but trust me, most people have to take up 2 and 3 jobs, and in a reasonable working world in the US, normally people have more than 1 job there. So they go and it works for them. They pay off their whole school fee. You see them coming with their flashy phone and so forth. They work really hard. And if that is something that you can do as a student, why not do it? The next thing that you can do, which is the next tip, is good budgeting. I told you can do work and travel. I told you can have your side hustle or side job, but if you don't budget yourself, you won't be able to make the money that you need in order to cover your school fee. So I'm gonna give you all an example, and I thought about this before I did the video, because I'm saying, if I'm supposed to do a side job, how many hours will I be able to do? With certain jobs, or with the job I'm telling you about, you can do overtime as well. So even though you're a part-time person, you can come and say, okay, can I work in the kitchen? Can I work in another department until I'm ready to leave, or until I'm satisfied with the amount of hours that I'm making? So for example, every month you make at least, say, a 30 grand because you're working 3 days a week. 3 days a week isn't bad, right? And if for the month you make at least a 30 grand, because the rate must go up by now, because everything raise and minimum wage raise and all of that. You make 30 grand for the month. You take 10 grand and put in your pocket money, and then you put the next 20 grand in your tuition fund, because even if your parents are the ones paying your tuition, you can at least contribute, so the rest of that money they can use it for the next semester. So if you save 20 grand for 12 months, that would be $240,000. And if for the year you're paying $600,000, that's like almost half of your school fee that you're contributing. So if you are somebody that can definitely work and pay your tuition, good budgeting and saving and all of the works, it can really help you. Because I never used to contribute to my tuition, to be honest, but if and when my mother says, okay, Brit, today I don't have your lunch money, or this week I don't have no lunch money, I can dig into my business, or I can dig into my little savings and say, okay, mommy, you can save the lunch money and I will sort it out for this week. And mind you, I'm not the only one that's going to school. Myself and my sister is going to school. Sometimes mommy will say, all right, maybe we'll send you back when I get the money, da 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 da. Sometimes she doesn't get her pay on time, so sometimes I have to find it, and probably she send me back. Probably me tell her, my mommy, don't worry about it. But you have to have the initiative and show that you will pitch in, or you can pitch in anytime the need arises. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why good budgeting and saving really does it for you. Because in school we spend a lot of money like on the sidelines, because sometimes I had to print and I have to do a lot of stuff with my money. Sometimes we have projects and we have to basically spend money. We have to buy different cartridge paper, all the work. So sometimes you will save and you will see that it's depleting, or you get lunch money and it's depleting, but you should be the one to say, okay, I'm gonna allot this every month in order to cover like printing costs and project costs, etc. So if you do good budgeting, trust me, you will see your money. And I used to be like somebody that spends, like splurge every single time I get money from mommy. I used to splurge. I used to buy a whole heap of fast food. I used to, people, let me tell you how far me I come from. Really, really far. And being that I've evolved into a saver, like I can't even believe myself sometimes. Like, you need to discipline yourself if you really want to make it in university. You really need to discipline yourself. So the last and final tip, and this is the one that really kicked in, and this one is to make yourself marketable. Being that your academics are good, you're also involved in clubs, and you're just what would you say now, a reputable person. You can basically represent if you are called upon. For example, you can be the vice president for your nursing club. You can be a part of the guild. Be something in your school community where you know that, okay, if I should be selected for a scholarship, most of the persons that work there are my lecturers. They can basically recommend me and say, okay, she has been in the NAJ club for 4 years, 3 years, etc., and she's a good candidate to get this scholarship. And in my final year and in my first year, I got assistance. I got 3 scholarships throughout my whole university tenure. I got JAMVAT, and that's the Jamaica Values and Attitudes for tertiary students, something. For that, it's kind of tricky, because you basically have to do some hours in order to get access to the money, but it cuts off about 20% of your tuition. So for the 2 times, I got near to 200,000 from them. So that is how I paid off like first year. So I got a little assistance. For the second one that I got, it was in my final year, and I think it covered for one of the semesters. And then I got the Micah Impact Scholarship. And if you go to nursing school, so that is one of the big scholarships. It's basically like half of my tuition. So in my final year, I hardly pay nothing for my school fee, and mommy was so happy about that, because she was saying, I'm so proud of you and you kept your academics up. And that's the reason why I'm telling you that if you get a job, ensure that you can balance the time and you can allot time to study. Because if you're not marketable to get scholarships, if you fall short, dog name a supper, so ensure that you put yourself out there. You join the clubs and societies of your school or your college or your university. Ensure that you are active, and ensure that you build a rapport with your lecturers so that they can recommend you if it's anything, or they can suggest to you that, okay, I see that you are a good student, I see that you participate a lot, and I would advise you to, you know, apply for this scholarship, because I feel like it would, you know, be beneficial. And you know, you just need to put yourself out there. Try not to be shy during university. And I never used to be shy in university. I basically was in most of the clubs. Like, even if I'm not an outright member, I would like go show my face and leave. Like, I mostly participated in the nursing club. That's the club I knew I really participated in. And I was the vice president for 1 year. And then I was the, what was it? Some key chairperson or something like that for a couple of years. And I think I was in other clubs. I think I was in ADFEL, Adventist Young People Thing Club. It was the only Christian club there, so I found that I would, you know, participate. But anyways, guys, I hope that cleared up something for you, and I hope that inspired you. Put God first in everything that you do, guys. He will not fail you. I told you, I negotiated with God. I said, God, if I this method do, the school fee will be paid in full. And trust me, not even a dollar I'm gonna take from student loan. And I'm gonna tell you, everybody's path is different at the end of the day. And it might not be that you should be a girly like me that doesn't have any debt. Maybe you should take the loan, but then God will find a way for help you to pay off the loan in no time. Because God have a way of blessing you. And when Him bless you abundantly. So stay safe, guys. Ensure that you use these tips. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.